Paul, we thought about a few different contenders, but your name came up late. How long has this process been going on, and take us through it from your end?
Yeah, so from my side, about a month been in the process for. I must commend the footy club on the rigorous process that they've ran and the way they've conducted the process and the confidentiality they held along the way. As I went through the process, I became more and more excited about joining the Melbourne Footy Club, and I'm just delighted to receive the phone call last night.
What do you think you can offer the footy club?
Didn't quite hear that.
What do you think you can offer the footy club?
I clearly bring a strong CEO leadership acumen. I think we're now in an environment where business and sport are starting to come together even more so. AFL is an elite sporting competition, and Melbourne is an elite sporting club as part of the AFL as well. I think there's a lot that business can learn from sport, but equally I think there's a lot sport can learn from business as well. I hope to bring my experience in business into the football club. I'm no stranger to footy clubs, having been involved with sponsorship back with Vodafone, and before that with Motorola, and of course the association we have through the Victorian Chamber and the AFL is really strong as well. So I'm really excited about getting in and getting involved. Membership organisation, same as we are at the Chamber as well. There's a lot of upside.
Paul, we all know what's been happening lately off the field at Melbourne. How hard did you have to think about it before throwing your hat in the ring?
Melbourne is one of the great clubs of the AFL. So, there's a bunch of off-field speculation. I don't know whether that's true or not. Certainly the conversations I've had with the board left me comfortable that Melbourne is the right football club for me to lead.
The footy department's had a few challenges recently. Why are you the right man for the job, given you haven't had football experience when clearly football is the biggest area of concern at the Demons?
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, the Demons are where they are on field. That'll improve, there's no doubt about that. I think we need to start looking at football clubs a little bit differently in the same way they do as an organisation. There's no CEO that knows absolutely everything about every part of an organisation. To do that effectively, you need to have the right people in each of the right areas, and that's what I'll bring to Melbourne Football Club. I'll get across the football. I'm no stranger to elite sport through racing. I'm no stranger to AFL through the sponsorship connections that I've had in the past, and I'm confident I'll come up to speed as I need, but importantly, I'm really confident we have the right people inside the football club now, and we can add the right people as we need to and as we expand as well.
Well, you say you came to the process late. Did you come to Melbourne? Did Melbourne come to you, or was it a mutual sort of, let's sit down and have a bit of a chat about this?
I'm not sure I came to the process late. I've been in the process for about a month.
Yeah.
So from that side, I took a phone call, and then from where it went.
Paul, you've got a big event coming up with the Victorian Chamber in September, and you're going to stay on until at least then. Can you shed any light on the timeline for when you might take over in the role?
Yeah, so we've got the World Chamber Congress, which happens every 2 years. Melbourne's secured that through the work of the Victorian Chamber. We're delighted to bring global leaders together in Melbourne to really showcase what Victoria can offer the rest of the world and bring those conversations to life as it needs to be. So that's early September. The announcement's less than 24 hours old. I'll be working through with my president and the Melbourne Footy Club president to work out what my tenure here is and when I go across to the Melbourne Footy Club. Certainly I want to be around for the World Chamber Congress, but let's let those conversations play out, and I'll update everybody as to when my start date is going to be. But until then, we've got a really capable CEO in David holding the fort, and we've got an experienced chair in Brad Green as the president as well at the moment. So the club has leadership in place. It'll do what it needs to do, and as soon as I'm able to, I'll be across in a full-time capacity.
Well, Melbourne fans, I think quite rightly over the past couple of years, are wondering what's actually taking place at the footy club, particularly off-field. What do you say to them who are now really curious about you coming on board, particularly from that cultural perspective?
It's an opportunity to look forward. My reputation as a CEO involves strategy, involves driving values and therefore culture as an outcome of those values as well. Having the right people in place and then driving for success. We make no secret. We're here to be successful off the field, and that will drive success on the field at both the AFL and the AFLW as well. We want to be a destination football club. We will be a destination football club. We will be high performance, and I think the future for Melbourne Footy Club is really exciting.
What would you say to senior players such as Petraka, Oliver, Vaughan, Jack Viney, when you get a chance to speak to them about what you're going to bring to the club?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to catching up with all of the players, in fact all of the football department as well. I haven't had a chance to do that across the board yet, and I'll do that over the next week. I've spoken to the coach this morning, and it was a really positive conversation. So, they'll embrace me, I'll embrace them, and I'm really excited about what lies ahead.
Caulfield's going to be, or is, a massive thing for the club. How big a priority would that be for you coming into the chair, and what's your understanding of where that's at?
Yeah, the club's been really transparent in terms of its need for a home. There's much been written about Caulfield as well. I don't know the full details about where that's at. That's for me to sit down and work with the club what that looks like. But I'm excited about the fact that that is the ambition for the footy club, is to have a home where past players can be there, current players can be there, sponsors can be there, members and fans to come and enjoy what the Melbourne Football Club is about as well, but ultimately a place that can drive high performance, and that's what it's going to be about.
You're well connected across Melbourne as well. I mean, what's your optimism that they can move into Offfield within a reasonable time frame?
Yeah, I don't know enough of the detail yet, and it'd be wrong for me to speculate through. So just give me the benefit of understanding the conversations that take place and where they're at the moment, and then we'll pick it up from there.
Last year the club embarked on more of an internal football review. Is your expectation that a more external review will be initiated in the next 6 months?
Look, let's see. I'm not inside the football club yet, so all of those conversations I'm sure will be had in time. But I think sometimes we overplay reviews. In a business environment, we review everything we do every single day, and that helps us get better at what we do. So, I think again that's uncomfortable at the start, but that's a discipline that has worked well through my career, and I'm sure it's a discipline that we'll bring into the football club as well.
How are you going to manage potentially having to put in 2 camps for the next few months, or particularly when everyone's going to be looking to you as things unfold at Melbourne?
Yeah, we'll work that through. I mean, again, the appointment's less than 24 hours old. Let me work that through with my board and also with the Melbourne Footy Club board, and we'll come to the right arrangement. But we have David doing a wonderful job as interim CEO. We have an experienced president in Brad as well. So, we've got leadership in place at the football club, and I'll get across there as soon as I can.
Are you going to stay on Racing Victoria's board?
Again, all that is to be worked through.
You said you spoke to the coach,
Yeah.
the man for the future for Melbourne.
It was a great conversation. I think we have to respect the fact that Simon is a premiership coach. He's a premiership player as well. This is a blip in time at where the footy club is at. There are conversations that I'll have in time with the board and with Simon himself, but I think we need to respect Simon and the job that he's done at the football club, because it's been enormous.
Thanks, Paul.
Pleasure. Thanks.
Cheers.